Groff with Pantera Networks. Today on this video, I am going to go through our admin portal. I am going to go through our View Manager tab. So let's get started. So again, in order to have access, you need to be a super admin on your account. If you are, you'll go ahead and click on the three bars up here in the top right-hand corner, and you'll click on Admin. Once you get into the admin portal here, you'll click, I'm going to go through the View Manager tab. Now, before I go through the View Manager tab, again, you can access everything that's inside here through our admin help. Again, we'll pull up our admin help. If you have any questions, go through the View Manager, and it goes through every tab inside the View Manager if you have questions on it. But I'm going to go through it today. But again, as a quick reference, it's always accessible here in the admin help. So the View Manager manages the user level down. So when you first click on View Manager, it's going to take you to users, and then you have your users for your account. Most common update for people usually is sending a password reset. If you need to resend a password reset, just click resend here next to any user, and it'll automatically send it out. If you needed to delete a user, just put a checkbox next to someone, like I'm going to go ahead and delete this user here, and just say delete. I can go ahead and delete this user and say, for whatever reasons, company reorganization, and it'll go ahead and delete that user. If you need to build a new user, go to Actions, New User. Everything that has a red asterisk next to it, go ahead and fill out. So I'm going to say test user 2, test user. You can auto-assign an extension or put in one and then check the availability. So I can say check the availability, and it's shown it's available. And then I can go ahead and choose the seat type, caller ID. If you want to set the caller ID to anything, you can, or any specific DIDs that you might have. Calling class, this is whether it can call international, local, or internal only. So I'm going to say local class, which is US and Canada. Automatically generates a voicemail pin. If you want to record the phone call. Again, you don't need to fill out all this information if you don't want to, just everything that has a red asterisk next to it. But so I'm going to leave everything here blank, and then we'll go ahead and put in an email that's just made up here, and then send email. This makes it so it'll send the login credentials to whatever email address that you have on file. If you want to set the password, you can set the password for the person here as well. Then down here under the groups are hunt groups. So you can, if there's part of a hunt group or ACD group, you can choose any one of them, and they can go through inside here. And then if you want to add on any available add-ons for that seat type, you can too as well. Any billing groups, you can have as the default or as a separate billing group. Then if roles are the different type of role that you want it to have, whether it be a super admin, an admin, or a report admin, which I'll get into here up at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and say action save, and it saves this user. Once the user has been built, you can then open up the user and make any change for that user inside here. So if I want to, I can go ahead and expand all the different tabs and see everything that's involved in each one. Again, I'm not going to go through all this part. I'm going to probably do this on another video, but just kind of wanted to give you a quick overview of what everything does. You can change your call routing for all of them, etc. Inside here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and collapse all, and again, you can make any change for any of the users. Then we can go into our next one, which is our groups. This is our hunt groups. So this is where you can set up a new hunt group or a new ACD group if you did. Give it a name. Again, same. Everything's going to repeat and kind of go everything back to action save. So you'll put in whatever name that you want to give the name for the hunt group. If it's going to be a hunt group or if it's going to be an ACD, whatever email address that you want it to go to, again, assign an extension to it. If you want to give a DID to the hunt group to call directly to, you can choose so, and then you simply just add your users. So if I want to add my test user to this one, add the test user, and then action save. Once it's been saved, it'll display, and then if you want to make changes to those hunt groups, you can. Like so, if you want to, I can change that one and be able to put in a new user into here, or add more users. You can do so right inside the account. Again, everything leads back to action save and so forth. If you want to listen to voicemails for any of those groups, you can just click directly on the voicemail and listen to the voicemails, or you can go up to the group voicemail button here and it'll take you to the voicemails as well. Next, we get into the devices, the device management. This is where you add your MAC addresses. So if you're bringing your own phone, you want to go ahead and add the MAC address, set the location of where the E911 for the phone is, give the device a phone name, and then you select down from the drop-down menu the make and model of the phones, whether it be Cisco, Grandstream, Polycom, or Yealink. Select the model of the phone. It'll automatically put in a default passcode, and then action save. Once it's been added, you can go ahead and then modify that MAC address by adding the username of who it wants to be. Say it's that new user wants to be IP phone 2. Whatever you want it to say, action save, reboot that phone, and it should be good to go. I will on other videos do on how to provision and how to factory reset phones. That'll be coming in here in some other videos here shortly. Under devices as well, you can go to device status. This can give you a live update of every user and where they're registered. If they're registered with their soft phone, our iOS device, and so forth, and what IP address that they're coming in from. So again, this gives you a nice version of what is being registered and what's not being registered in real time. Next one over here is our roles. Like I was saying, we have essentially 4 roles that you can do. Actually, I would consider 5 with your normal user. That doesn't have any role. It's just the normal user day to day. But then you have your supervisors. Supervisors can supervise over whatever said users or groups that are assigned to a hunt group. So everybody that's in that group you can automatically supervise over, or you can do it individual users at a time. Or then you can go to our report manager. Report managers get reporting on said users or groups. Admins can administer over whichever users or groups, and so they'd only be able to see those. So if you have an admin for a specific location, they can only see those people in that specific location. And then super admins can do everything on the account, including billing changes. So they can administer the entire account, see everything, and edit anything, and update your current billing information. Next tab over here goes to our global user add-on settings. These are to add on our extra features like our storage manager for our call recording, to add extra storage. Class of service is if you wanted to set up different classes here for inbound and outbound. You manage your different zones. If you wanted to set up an international zone of only calling, say, South America, or calling only Europe, you can set those zones and set users to those specific zones. Audio conferences, where you can add audio conference and bridge information for users for audio bridges. Fax, if you want to set up a fax account for any users, you can set up fax. And then we also have our analytics to be able to purchase on site for the account for our KPIs and SLA analytics packs. Then the last tab here is our security registration. This is where you can add, administrators can add or remove or block IP addresses from users, so that way you don't get the 2-factor authentication registration code. You can whitelist your IP addresses, so that way when you do users register their phones or register their soft phones, their IPs won't go through the 2-factor authentication, and it'll be already whitelisted. So you can add users, remove users. If they're showing up pending here, you can approve them, so that way then they don't have to put in the authentication code. That sums up the View Manager tab. Again, I will on separate videos go through the Account Level Service Manager, the Billing tab, Report Manager, SLA KPIs, Contact Manager, and API Manager as well. But if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Again, this is Logan with Pantera Networks. Thanks and have a great day.